Hello and happy Thursday, or like I like to call it, Practice Friday. Welcome to the Creative Chaos stream. This is a stream dedicated to bring on indie creators and give them a spotlight. There is no negativity here unless it comes from me. Uh, and we've got a really good guest tonight. But first, as always, Creative Chaos is sponsored by my very own magazine, Flip City, the best comic satire rag on the face of the earth. It is not made for people that are easily offended. And if you're a member of the Legion of Screamers, this would just make you scream more. I don't really have a pitch prepared for tonight, but I did want to show kind of our body of work. So this is how thick and our collection of Flip City magazines are. Most of them are still for sale at flipcitymag.com, and we are in the middle of our fifth year publishing, so we're excited about that. It's quite an accomplishment to be an independent producer of things that you're not supposed to say, and last this long. We haven't been canceled yet. We've been trying really, really hard to be canceled for years, even kind of poking the bear of the woke and everything. And the best thing that comes out of that is awesome content that we publish inside the magazine. If you pick up some of our past issues, you'll see all the hate that Flip City's been getting over the years because we troll it out, and it's really fun. My guest tonight as well gave us a really great compliment that he was laughing his ass off, and it's first time in many, many years he's done so while reading something, not watching. So we encourage you to pick a Flip City magazine up today. Go to flipcitymag.com and pick up past issues, or subscribe, or do both. That's the best thing you could do, is subscribe and pick up some past issues. So that is flipcitymag.com. Again, flipcitymag.com. And I just wanted to say what is up to the chat. And I saw that over on YouTube, my one and only mod, George Washington X, has checked in and said, "What's up?" I don't check to see how many people are viewing live. So I don't know how many lurkers we have. Paul Thaddeus popped in, and my buddy 451 Actual of the No Prisoners podcast on Pilled said, "What is up?" And TGM, wow, that's actually quite a few people checking in over on Pilled, especially on the earlier side. Maybe it's because I actually reposted it saying, "Hey, you guys, come check us out." And then Aaron Moriarty over on Rumble says, what did you say? "Hi, Christy." And he also says, "Flip City rocks. I subscribed, and you should too." And guess what, Aaron? I went to the P.O. box today and picked up your check. So you are most definitely subscribed. Well, hold on. I got to make sure your check clears first. So you're almost all the way subscribed. So thank you for doing that. We really like getting checks in the mail. So anybody that doesn't like doing the digital payment thing and wants to subscribe via check, you can do so by sending $44.95 to Flip City Magazine at P.O. Box 877, Crestline, California, 92325. So yeah, if you want to do it old school, you can do it that way. So yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Aaron, for the extra plug for Flip City Magazine. And now it is time to bring in my super duper awesome co-host, sidekick, Batman. Oh no, I think maybe Batman stepped away for a moment. There he
Nope,
is.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right
Hi,
here. I'm
honey.
right here. I was trying to post the show on Twitter. I was just trying to share the link. So I was out there sharing the link. So now I'm
Okay.
back.
Well,
Sorry.
if you didn't quite get to hit the button, you'll have that opportunity in a moment
Hit the button for
the retweet or whatever, the sharing over on
Oh,
Twitter.
I just shared it out. I just put it out there. If you go to what is it? No, I think I'm Bruce Wayne on X as well. No,
there's
I'm not.
no way you claim
I'm
at
the
Bruce
one.
Wayne.
I'm the one Batman, I think. No, wait. Did I get Bruce Wayne? Or did I do a different? Hold on. What's my handle here? Hold on.
Well,
I
while
am
you're looking
I
for
am
that,
Bruce Wayne. I am Bruce Q Wayne on Foxhole.
Bruce Q. Wayne on
No. I'm
Foxhole.
sorry, Bruce Q Wayne. It's at Bruce Q Wayne, and the Q stands for Quartermain, not QAnon. I am Bruce Quartermain Wayne, and I am Bruce Q Wayne on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to follow me, just go to at Bruce Q Wayne, and you'll find me there as well. So I originally created the Q because I just liked the name Quartermain, and it just so happened to coincide around the same time as everybody started getting Q-tarded, and so that's how the Bruce Q Wayne came about.
Quartermain just makes me think of like a racehorse.
Well, that's yeah, it's a machismo thing more than anything else. So it's Bruce Quartermain Wayne.
Okay, got
Because
it. And
everybody
since
else
we're
had Bruce Wayne taken 10 different ways to Sunday.
and since we're talking about social media, what should people do right now, Batman?
They should like, subscribe, and check that thumbs up. Check that gold pill. Click the red pill. Click anywhere you can to give us kudos, and just let the algorithms know, hey, we're out there and you're watching us. So if you're in YouTube, I think it's a thumbs up. If you're in Rumble, it's a thumbs up. If you're in pill.net or Foxhole, it's going to be a red pill. And then you can always send us gold pills, but you don't have to. Just
We are
subscribe to flipcitymagazine.com, flipcitymag.com. Go subscribe today.
that works for me. Hey, is there before we bring in our guest tonight, is there any news from you or anything you want people to know?
Um, yeah, actually I would. I'd like people to keep me in their prayers. I'm having some surgeries coming up with what's going on with from this accident, repercussions from the accident. And I have it's this one's arthroscopic, so it's not that bad. But I just got some really shitty news today, and I'm going to be needing neck surgery again. This neurosurgeon wants to put a titanium plate in my throat, on
In
my
your
vertebrae.
throat? Okay.
Well, behind my throat, but he's got to go in through my throat to put it in.
Jeez.
So it'll be a titanium plate, 4 screws, and a wedge that goes between the cartilage, that goes between the vertebrae to keep the separation. The cartilage is pretty much deteriorated, and that was from this was all brought on by the car accident that happened back in October, which really threw a monkey wrench at me. And
Wow. So
and
it hasn't even been a year. I always kind of assumed it'd been longer than that.
no, October. And there are days I can walk, no problem, and then there are days I need a cane, so I'm hobbling along. But just keep me in prayer. Just everybody out there, if you're a fan of Foxhole, Flip City Mag, or even Three Beermen, just whatever it is, whether you are or aren't, just keep us in your prayers. Got a lot going
Well,
on.
I will
Hey, George
definitely
Washington, thank you, brother.
I will definitely
Thank
keep
you,
you
George Washington.
in my prayers, Batman. And I don't think there's anything that can slow you down,
Nah, you know
so
what? After the accident, that's when I said I'm done. I'm out. I'm checking out. I do not want to participate in this rat race anymore. I am done being a rat in a cage running the wheel. So I started vacationing a lot and running to different parts of the world. And well, you know the story.
I do. We've kind of followed your adventures a little bit here and there, but let's go ahead and bring in our guest. I'm going to go ahead and read him in. So my guest tonight is Doc Blalock, and he is a writer illustrator with a couple of independently published titles under his belt, beginning with his Pariah series, Pariah, Mud, Blood and Mud, and now funding A Damned Dirty Thing, publishing under the Dark Gift Comics imprint. A Damn Dirty Things is a thrilling 20-page black and white pulp noir that follows private investigator Jake Bishop, who finds himself embroiled in mystery and murder. But the road he's on will lead him to the case of his life. You can also find Doc's Coffee Shop streaming on the Comic Related Madness YouTube channel, where he spotlights indie creators. I've heard he can get a little steamed up about the current state of our culture and government. So we might get a little bit ranty night tonight. We'll find out. But no matter what, I'm sure it's going to be fun. So let's bring in Doc. Hi, Doc.
Hello, you happy people.
Okay, wait. I just have to say it. What's up, Doc?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sure you get that a lot.
Never heard that one before. That's the very first time.
It's funny because I was thinking I was going to do the same thing. So Batman, thank you for taking my idea because I totally forgot about it.
I over beautified myself, I think.
Because we're on Zoom.
The only thing that I think the computer could do to beautify me was to throw me completely out of focus. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think my camera is a high def camera, but I never set it to high def. I'm like, nobody wants to see that. I'm not like Nina Infinity or something like that, with
that's how
beautiful young skin.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I said nobody wants to be subjected to this. If I could do my show behind an avatar, I would, but I'm a communicator and I communicate with my hands a lot, and so kind of gotta be on the camera there. Plus I require all of the idiots that come on my show to be on camera. No hiding behind avatars.
Yeah, and that's something with this show as well, as I pretty much require that. I think the closest I've allowed somebody to do is he created his own mask. And he's like, I want to come in on a mask. I'm like, okay, as long as you have a camera on, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. By the way, also, my show is Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's not only on the Madness Comic Network, but on my own YouTube channel, Doc Blalock. It's right there. I'm the only Doc Blalock on YouTube. Don't confuse me with Batman found Dr. Blalock, who's going to tell you all about some vitamin supplements. That guy's a quack. And I'm not. So
Yeah, guys, go to DOC Blalock. 2 separate words. DOC Blalock, BLAYLOK.
No.
And
no
LOCK.
No Y.
I'm sorry. It came up anyway. So go ahead, Doc, why don't you tell everybody how to find you one more time?
It's right there. Right there. Doc Blalock. DOC BLALOCK. There's no Y in Blalock unless you're Mookie Blalock, who went to jail. So I'm not him.
Related?
No, not related. He was a professional basketball player. I can't say how I know him, from his substance abuse issues, except to say I'm a retired substance abuse counselor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Now, is this because you have abused substances in the past, like how you see on intervention?
No.
Okay.
No, I am not a recovering addict. I actually went to college and whatever. I did that. Primarily, I started off in medicine in the Navy, but I was working in the ERs both in and when I got out. And I got tired of watching people die. So I thought, what can I do to continue to help people without going home soaked in other people's bodily fluids? And I decided mental health. So I decided to be a counselor because, if you make an appointment with a counselor, those cats are making, $120 an hour minimum. And I thought, that's a great gig. I'll do that. Except God said, no, you're going to be a substance abuse counselor. They're the minimum wage counselors. So that's what I ended up doing. But in the course of that career, I won't drop any names, but I've won a World Series ring. I've won a Super Bowl ring. I've had my picture taken with Grammy Award winners and with an Academy Award winner who owns a town here in Georgia.
Wow. Okay. But no names mentioned.
No names. Don't sue me, whoever you are.
It's anon for a reason, right?
It's anonymous. It's anonymous. Now, I'm not strictly held to any kind of HIPAA violations anymore because I've been more than 5 years retired. So, but I don't throw people under the bus.
Right. It's nice. It's good that you still have discretion. So no tell-alls in your future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I bring that up to say this, not to put a serious spin on a lighthearted show, but addiction can hit anybody, anywhere, anytime. It's not just that homeless guy sleeping on the park bench. It could be a celebrity in a multi-million-dollar house, that's suffering with the exact same thing. So that's my public service announcement.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That's actually a positive note. I didn't view that as bringing the show down. I am a huge intervention watcher because I want the people to get better.
Yeah.
I don't watch it for all the drama and all that. I literally watch it for the last 5 minutes to see if they were successful and then pray for them if they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been asked to do interventions before. I don't believe in them, and I wouldn't do them because typically when you spring that on somebody, almost every person in addiction is going to resist entering treatment. And there is no statistical outcome in the difference between a person mandated to go to treatment and someone who voluntarily goes in after that first 30 days. But that first 30 days, if you force them and there's no enforcement behind it, then there's a high percentage of recidivism and relapse that you want to, kind of stay out of. So I guess the saying would be, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But at the same time, you can make his ass thirsty.
Right.
Make him want to get sober.
Yeah. Well, okay. Totally understandable. Let's switch the topic though.
Let's do.
Okay. I am curious. Let's start with this. Why don't you just give people the elevator pitch of A Damn Dirty Thing? What is this thing all about?
So Jake Bishop is a character that we actually meet originally was going to be in the second Pariah book as a private investigator who's on the trail of Elizabeth Payne, the star of the Pariah series. But I thought, he needs a bigger intro because the more I was drawing of him and he was coming to life, the more I really dug that character. So I decided to go ahead and do A Damn Dirty Thing. Now, I'll say this very quickly. Pariah is 3 parts and done. Jake Bishop will be going on until they put me in the ground. I've already written several of the scripts for the next several issues. I'm writing a novella with each of the comic books, between 100 and 110 pages each. And Jake Bishop is a private investigator who lives in Solomon City, particularly the neighborhood called Iron Gate. And he's what he calls a ditch wizard. So he has some supernatural abilities, but he has no formal training with it. And so he just kind of figures it out as he goes. And in A Damn Dirty Thing, he's on the trail of the mob boss who blew up his office, killing his partner and his secretary one night because he was getting a little too close to someone close to the mob boss. So this is the tale of him going after that guy. And it is just plain old 1940s noir all the way.
Revenge is a very bitter pill to swallow.
Now, Jake, it's interesting you said that. Jake Bishop's out for justice. He's not a revenge guy. And so the question that we're teasing between Pariah and the Jake Bishop books is, will he be friend or foe to Elizabeth Payne, who is a very powerful witch using her abilities to go after the men who tried to kill her? So she's definitely out for revenge. Jake ain't.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, that makes a little more sense because I did notice that, I forget the exact wording that you have in your campaign, but that A Damn Dirty Thing is part of the Pariah series, but the Pariah series seemed to be more of a supernatural type of thing. So I see now how it's linked.
Yeah. I had done a scene in the second Pariah book where Jake meets Elizabeth for the first time without setting up, of course, the backstory. You just see this mysterious guy. He's skulking around the alleyways where she has committed one of her revenge kills. And he tracks her down and they have a little conversation. And he pretty much says, you really shouldn't be out here alone. And she says, I'm never alone. And she's got that 12-foot tall golem that obeys her every whim. That's just like the size of the Hulk. And he goes, all right, but we need to get him off the street. And Lunchbox can't come in the house. So they leave him outside and they go in and they have their exchange of ideas, shall we say.
Okay. And am I correct in the little research that I did on you to prepare for our interview tonight? It looks like you just kind of hopped into the comic sphere recently, like within the last year or two.
I returned to it.
Okay.
So way back in the 90s, I did independent comic books for the small press as a penciler only. I worked for Pocket Change Comics, Fusion Press, two others that I honestly can't even remember the name of them. And it was fun and it was a little extra money in your pocket, but it was stressful and it was more work than I needed. I'm actually a fine art painter. I'm an impressionistic landscape painter, and I've always done that. I've been doing that for 40 years now. And when the world ended under under a certain administration, whereas the paintings were paying the bills, I couldn't give a painting away. So just I'm gonna give a shout out to Ethan, even though Ethan's kind of love him or hate him. I had actually super chatted him that I wish there was something like Comicsgate or Iron Age for fine artists because blah blah blah. And he brought up my fine art website, looked at my paintings. Artie Bear was there and Billy Tucci was there, and they oohed and awed over my paintings. And Ethan said, "I don't know what to tell you, man. Come do comic books with us." And I went, "I know how to do comic books."
Okay, cool.
So I jumped back in.
Nice. Now, before doing the whole or starting the Pariah series, had you written before, or was this already something in your mind that you'd been working on in the background?
I've written before. I actually have two other novels, but I had never written a comic book well, that's a lie. I wrote one called Alpha Strike, and it was ready to go to publication, but that company folded up like a cheap shirt, and it never went to publication, and I never thought about it again. Pariah came about, everyone kind of says it's kind of like I Spit on Your Grave, and that's fine if that's the way you want to think about it, but it actually was inspired by my favorite contemporary writer was Tom Clancy, and I had just read Without Remorse, and it's the story of a Navy SEAL getting revenge on the drug gang that killed his girlfriend. And you can imagine how fucked up that kind of revenge is, and how creative a Navy SEAL would get in killing these people.
Right.
And just as I was sitting there all alone in the living room sipping some coffee, I went, that'd be fucked up if they had done something like that to a witch and she lived, and the idea was born. And so I started thinking about it. Laurie Calcaterra and I cut up. We talk about someone will see you sitting there just kind of staring off into space, and they'll say, "What are you doing?" "I'm working. I'm creating this world in my head. I'm writing this story." And I write a lot of it long before I ever sit down at the keyboard and start writing.
Mm-hmm.
But then because you've done that, laid that groundwork in your mind, once you start writing, it just flows.
Right. Well, and I am interested. Do you still have your fine art website up? Can people find that and buy from you, or?
I can give you the link. I'll send it to you in Twitter and DMs.
Okay.
I'm scared to leave this screen though, because I had a hard time getting back here, but we'll give it a go.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, you don't have to do it right this second if you don't want to. But yeah, I'd be interested in looking at some of your paintings. And well, so you personally, are you into comic books? Do you like comic books? Do you like heroes? What's your deal?
Um, the answer to that question is kind of easy. The answer is yes. I started collecting comics in the 70s. Let me find my way back to you. All right, that's in your DMs in Twitter.
Oh, cool.
And then, of course, I grew up and I joined the Navy, and the mom did what moms do. They throw your collection away. And then I started collecting again in the early 90s, and right before Image popped on the scene. And I started collecting again, and I had, maybe 2 or 3 long boxes, and then I was doing comics at that time. And then I went on vacation to Virginia Beach, and I got robbed, and someone stole my collection and sold it back to my LCS. And then that's it. I'm not going to collect anymore. So I love the medium. I love the art. of it. But right now, my drive is not superheroes, capes, and tights. It's noir. It's I love everything about the aesthetics of the 1940s. Jake Bishop's world and Elizabeth Payne's world, star of Pariah. They live in a world that's contemporary with ours, but the aesthetics of the 1940s never went away. They decided we're looking as good as we're ever going to look right now with fashion and the cars and everything. There's no need to change it. So they didn't,
Yeah.
but they have all of our technology. They just call it different things from what we call it. A computer is a data type, for example. And yeah,
That's pretty cool.
So you continued on with the language swap, doing that, I guess the dialect and the encyclopedia of the day, which is really cool that you were able to do that. So what is a cell phone called? I'm curious.
A phone.
A phone. Okay.
It's a phone.
It's a phone.
But the internet is called the oh Lord, what is it called? It's in the book. I can't remember right now. They call the internet something else. They have all of our technology, but it looks retro. Everything looks retro. I mean, she's got a laptop, but if you ever saw the front of it, there's dials and things on the front of it, and he's got an old school 2-piece phone, but he can just speak into it like a smartphone and tell it to call so and so, and they'll do it.
That's really funny. So it's kind of like steampunk.
A little steampunky, but let's call it steam noir.
Oh yes.
Because why not?
I like it. Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So more along the lines of like the Maltese Falcon style noir.
Very much.
Yeah, I saw that when I looked at your website. I was rather impressed.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
It was good.
If you think about Batman the Animated Series when it came out, it's got a very 1940s look to it, but he's got computers.
Oh, it does.
He's got computers and phones and all the technology. So it's not groundbreaking to do that, but it's certainly something I embraced wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Now, do you know a little bit of something? I mean, you touched on it, so now we got to go there. Okay, so bear with me on this. Do you know how Bruce Timm did the animation? That instead of using white backgrounds and adding color, you started with black backgrounds and then started adding color?
I had no idea.
That's in a lot of the documentaries about the making of, the Batman the Animated Series, and it was noir intent, because if you look at the very first few episodes, it was very dark, and the colors weren't like day glow, but they were definitely like it caught your attention. Batman's cape is technically black, but they paint it bluish because of the way the light reflects off of it. So that's noir in style. And I got that feeling. There was a panel you did where Jake is kicking some guy in the gut, kicking him away from him. And I saw your shading in that, and I was like, he should have done that on a black piece of paper and gone the other way. I was like, that's a great fucking kick. I mean, that just was, so that whole image really stuck with me and gave me that Batman noir feel. So well done.
Well, thank you. Thank you. There's a visual shift in the book. It's not, it won't pull you out of it. But I did 40% of the book traditionally because that's how I work. But then a friend of mine gave me a digital tablet, and I started working digitally. And I was like, I wonder what this does. I wonder what this does. I wonder what this does. And I found all these wonderful ways to do a lot more blacks and effects and whatever. And I was like, where have you been all my life? I love this. So, but it's, I'm not, my hero in comics was George Perez. To me, he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And I like John Byrne. I like Neil Adams. But I'm not that clean of a line artist. I'm sketchy. And I decided not to fight it. I just lean into it because, what are you going to do at my age? I'm not going to learn an entirely new way of doing stuff. I'll just incorporate what I already do. And I'm an impressionist painter, so why wouldn't I sketch my comics a little more sketchy?
Oh, there we go. Well, thank you, Cause, so much for bringing up. Now we know Doc's real name.
That's correct.
We're doxing Doc.
That's
now.
right. I am
that's
indeed.
really beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And there is a tab there that says gallery. I think you can go look at several images and kind of scroll through them if you wish.
And yeah, I had just dropped in all the chats how people could find this site in particular, because you were kind enough to, take a risk and send me the DM over on Twitter. and I really don't look at DMs or do much of that during a stream, so it was kind of like we teamed up to do something risky.
Yeah.
That's what creative chaos is all about. I'm like,
hey, I'm all about it. By the way, that painting of sunflowers, if you scroll up just a little bit, Cause, that painting of the sunflowers right there is one of the few expressionist pieces I ever did. And it was basically just because I had leftover paint on my palette. And when I posted it on Facebook Marketplace, they marked it as sexually explicit material and banned it.
What?
So I kid you not. So I did a video about that on my fine art YouTube channel, and that generated a sale for it. It sold immediately.
Nice. You're like, thank you for the community warning or whatever.
Yeah. You freaking libtards. It violates our community standards. Oh, well, I'm sorry that flower offended you.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. I'm assuming because of your wrong think over on Facebook that you've kind of been flagged. Do you think it kind of just happened?
Oh, they hate me.
Uh-huh.
They hate me. The interesting thing though is that I've gotten warnings, but they've never thrown me in Facebook jail. And I'm not sure if that's because I fight them so hard when they come at me, or if it's because I'm not being offensive enough. I mean, I certainly try.
Or it could be that your reach just isn't that much. So you're a small guy.
Well,
you're not worth it.
Well, maybe. Several of my friends have been to Facebook jail though, and they don't even have as many followers or friends as I do.
I see.
So, but I've got one buddy. He goes hard at everything, and he'll disappear for 30 days at a time and come back. Where you been? I was in Facebook jail.
I still haven't landed in Facebook jail. I try to temper my Facebook posts though, because the point is, at least for me, to bring attention to our business.
Right.
It's like, well, it's not really going to help me to get shadow banned or anything, but I know for sure that our business page over there is shadow banned because we have over 500 followers on Facebook, and you know how they give you your stats of like how many impressions or whatever. Zero all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm like, how does that happen?
I don't know. I've never understood the algorithms, and I've got a couple of friends that they are YouTubers. That's their thing, and they stress over their watch hours and their engagement. And I don't even know where to look that stuff up because I just don't care. I just want to tell stories in my comic books, and when I do my show, we are House Food and Facebook channel. I don't know. They won't send me. But I just want to tell stories, and I do my little show, and it's just entertainment. And yes, we do have people on to talk about their projects or whatever, but mostly we just kind of like Flip City. We do a big meme review. We do a great moments in comics, and then we just talk about the issues of the day, and we interact with the chat, and we have a good time. But I do, as I said backstage to you, Christy, I warn anyone watching, if you're easily offended, this is not the place for you. This is not a safe space. Don't come in here.
It's what attracted me to your show in particular. I think it's the very first question I asked was, is it really this way? And you're like, damn straight it is. I'm like, okay, I like you already.
That's right. It is the podcast that won't rust, bust, collect dust, kink, stink, turn pink, or rattle. It seems rainy season for 90 days or your money gladly refunded. If we ain't got it, we'll get it. When we get it, we'll funk it, ram it, jam it, damn it, pack it up and take it out to your car. No tipping, please.
Nice. I didn't know you could rap. Hey, I just real quick, I just wanted to say what's up to Mr. and no, Mrs. Good Stuff. I don't and Good Stuff.
What's
So
up,
they
good
are
stuffs?
watching. Do you know the Good Stuffs?
I do. They're great people.
I love them.
Man, that is some of the most fun you will ever have online is to go on their show because I never know what's coming from them. They do these great uh video
Be a man.
clips. Yeah, they do all the and they make their own content and you never know what's coming next. And I have been on that show and been laughing so hard I wasn't fit to come back on when it was over.
Yeah, I made a mistake and I didn't come with a male escort, so it all got awkward.
I just usually go, I need a grown up. I need a grown up. Hey, all the
Yeah.
good stuffs.
Yes, hail the Good Stuffs, and also Madness Comic Network popped in. So what is up, Pops? And then over on
Hey,
pill.net,
Pops.
classical checked in. So I'm caught up. I am caught up. And just to let you know, the Good Stuffs just basically said hi, everybody.
Hello, good stuff. Now, the first time I was in Good Stuff's chat, uh, he mangled my name, and then I was going to phonetically spell it out for him, being the helpful soul that I am, and I mangled it.
Yeah, when you typed it out.
Yes, and he promptly pronounced the mangling, and so now when I go on a show, I'm Doc Blalock. there it is.
Blalock. Quite fanciful.
So
a little bit like your paintings. Very fanciful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm not even sure what that means, but
fanciful.
No, I'm offended now. Oh, how dare you?
All right. So, Video Demon Slayer gifted a cookie. Thank you so much. That's gonna get me like a beer. So
I need a cookie. I also frequently argue with my UK viewers, by the way, on the difference between a biscuit and a cookie. They can't seem to figure that out over across the pond. They need some help.
Yeah.
If it's got chocolate chips in it, it's a cookie. But if you pull the chocolate chips out, it becomes a biscuit. And I'm like, no, a biscuit is made with buttermilk and it's big and it's fluffy, and you put sausage and mustard and cheese, and you enjoy it.
Thing. Do they even have biscuits like American style biscuits? What do they call them?
Scones. A buddy of mine
that has sugar in it.
Exactly. A buddy of mine, I said, send me your scones recipe. So he sent it to me and I gave it to my wife and she goes, this is just biscuits with sugar in it. So they're all screwed up over there. They need to come on over, particularly down here in the lovely Southeastern United States, and enjoy some real biscuits.
Absolutely.
Well, we actually had a conversation on our show this past week for Three Beermen, which is our show, Cosmic and I do, on these YouTube and, well, not YouTube, on all the channels. And we discussed pastries and what's the difference between a pastry and, what was it, Cosmic? Chime in here, brother.
Pastries, breads, biscuits, croissants, all kinds of good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff.
As a matter of fact, Cosmic was tweaking a recipe this afternoon when I called in to check out what we're doing for tonight's show, and I just touched base with him. And I want to know, how did those cookies come out, Cos?
They turned out good this time. You'll see them on the show this week.
Okay, nice. So there's the lead-in, guys. Go see Three Beermen this Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, or as I like to say, Big Apple time, 6 o'clock avocado time. Check out Three Beermen on threebeermen.tv.
That was well said.
You know, and I'm so disappointed because I saw your guys' post that you guys were doing pastries, and I love pastry and I love making pastry, and I meant to check in and I freaking didn't. So now I'm sad.
But look how seamlessly we brought all that together, though. What a wonderful segue.
Well, I got to say thank you again to Video Demon Slayer over on Pilled for the can for Batman and a biscuit for Doc.
Well, all righty then.
I think that's probably the buttered delicious kind, not the
Thank you, Slayer.
Wait. Yeah. You muted.
We lost you there, Batman.
Nope.
I
Still
know you're
muted.
dang.
Me. How about now?
Now we
Jesus
Yes.
got you.
Christmas.
Now we got you. Yeah.
All right. Slayer, thank you very much for the 15th time.
I was backstage
Wow.
before we started, and she couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear her, and I'm going. I can't make it work.
I did see the hand flailing, and that helped. I actually think maybe your hand flailing, you like finally hit the unmute button. That's exactly what happened.
Something happened. Something happened to make it work. I told her in a DM, I said, I've never Zoomed before. Be gentle with me.
Mrs. Good Stuff asked if I was drinking bourbon, and no, it's actually a blended whiskey.
Oh, I wish I had something to drink.
My daughter's boyfriend loves buying me alcohol, but he doesn't know what to get. He literally, because he knows I like beer, right? And he bought me malt liquor.
Oh God.
And I was like, and I couldn't have it. I had to bag on him. I'm like, Alex, you're so sweet that you like want to bring me beer, but like, bruh, this is malt liquor.
It says it right on the label.
Yes. I, it's kind of sad, because he's trying to bring gifts and all that kind of stuff, but
He's trying to appease the mother-in-law figure.
Yes, exactly.
Ply her with booze and she'll accept me. I don't know.
It's funny. I do accept him. I really like him. He's a very based guy, especially when you think of like, the fact that my daughter's Gen Z and all that. So I'm happy about that. But it's like, okay, honey, you need to learn a little more about beer and liquor, and then, we'll be cool.
Yeah. So that does beg the question. You are, as Batman said, you are in avocado land. How is it that you have remained in touch with reality, living in the biggest zoo in America?
That's a good question, actually. It's because I think 9/11 woke me up to everything's not cool and fine and the government's not your friend. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what happened. And once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep, and then you just piss off the rest of your liberal family, and
yeah, I'm ever so popular at family get-togethers.
It's I have a dysfunctional family. We don't talk about our problems, so it is literally like we talk about the weather and all that kind of stuff. And dude, when COVID hit though, because I'm trying to like shake these people awake, like, oh my God, this and this and this and this is going to happen. Like, this is right at the beginning. I'm telling them all these things are going to happen. They're basically telling me to, STFU. Yep. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going to sit in the corner and pout, but whatever. And then everything that I said was going to happen happened. Has any of them ever said, besides my dad? My dad was like, dude, you guys were crazy on point. Like, and I'm like, actually, thank you so much, Dad, for just recognizing and saying it. Right. It's not like I wanted to be right about anything, but I knew what was going to happen. And I wanted to warn everybody. Yeah. About every 10 years, I try warning people, but, they tell me to STFU. And then when everything comes true, they're not going to come back and say, wow, that's kind of crazy how you knew all that, because I'm the crazy one. So
just remember that the left always has a very persuasive argument, and it's this: shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't talk.
You know what, Doc? I think that's actually a perfect segue into our first segment. Are you cool? Are you done talking about yourself?
I don't ever want to talk about myself. I'm unworthy of attention.
Well, and this,
my parents said so.
Oh, my heart. All right. So it is time for us to go into our segments. And the first segment I've got for you is our mansplain segment. We've got a really bad bumper here that I still haven't added any kind of sound to. So you are going to mansplain to me tonight. I'm sorry. I think I might have a burp.
Come on with it.
Oh, it was very silent and lame and gay.
Oh, that's why.
I want you to mansplain to me how you can get a liberal person to listen to your points. Oh, because also I actually appreciate men. And that's why we do mansplain on Creative Chaos, is to give you guys a platform, because you guys are suppressed and silenced. Anyway, so mansplain to me how to get a liberal to actually listen to you.
You can't. You have to let the pendulum that they have pulled all the way as far as it'll go swing back and hit them between the eyes. Their first instinct will be to jump up and call you a fascist, and that's all your fault that happened. But then, like 1 out of 8 of them will have a light bulb moment, an epiphany, and they go, "Hey, maybe there's some kind of correlation between cause and effect after all." But to get them to listen to logic, no, that'll never happen.
You were very specific with the 1 out of 8. And I know men are way better at the maths than women. Is that a true statistic? 1 out of 8?
It is statistically true that 1 out of 8 persons, when they enter into a cognitive behavioral therapy session, will have an epiphany and a breakthrough and be able to move forward. So I just extrapolate that to the general public.
So wait, you counsel people still to this day.
No.
Do you do more than you don't? Okay.
No,
so
I'm
were
retired.
you doing, when you were working as a therapist, were you doing more than 8 people in a group?
Yeah, I've done groups as large as 30 at a time when it's substance.
Oh, wow.
That's psychoeducational. That's more teaching and interacting. But then you also do session work. So a typical day for me is 2 2-hour groups, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and then see patients in between in individual sessions. And at some point in there, find the time to eat lunch, pay the bills, pay your secretary. I'm so sorry, Kira, about the chair. I apologize.
Okay. I want to hear that.
Like
now you got to fill us in.
That needs a little explanation.
So when I sold my practice and I retired, I also sold most of the furniture and the furnishings and all that stuff. But I needed a new chair here in my studio. And so I kept my secretary's chair. Now, rewind a little bit. She was always bitching about the chair. It's uncomfortable. It hurts my butt, blah, blah, blah. And I said, there's nothing wrong with that chair. It's brand new. You just, this chair hurts my ass every day of my life. So I've got a memory foam pillow under my big ass and it still hurts. And so I'm so sorry, Kira. I'm so sorry.
How long was she your secretary for?
All day.
No, I mean okay. I'll take that answer.
I had several secretaries. They don't last long.
A good boss, because I've been a secretary in my life, and a good boss who will splurge on a good chair is very commendable. And I've only had one that's done so, where when I complained about the chair.
Terrible about it, Kitty. I feel terrible.
Just gotta say, I still appreciate that one boss.
Yeah,
that did that.
Kira was with me probably for about 2 years, and then I can't even remember the girl before her. Carla was before whoever that was. I don't remember all of them. They come and they go.
Okay, so I gotta ask, they come and go because there's one of 2 reasons: you're a dick, or you pay bad, or was it both?
I'm a great boss, but I was very demanding, and I did pay well.
Okay.
To the point where I didn't pay myself enough. But I don't know. It's one of those things where they can always find better pay and better working conditions somewhere else.
Okay.
Because there's a lot, when I do the dictation at the end of the day, and she's got to type all that up, have it filed, and that process never stops. So it's a never ending pile of work. And then you have emergency shit that happens after hours, and then all of that has to be transcribed and filed, and insurance claims, blah 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 blah. So yeah, she worked way harder than I did. I just talked to people.
Okay. I did enjoy that kind of work, working directly with, a business owner and everything. But Batman, you wanted to chime in.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if you actually thought about hiring maybe ex-stenographers, because you've got these court stenographers that age out and they're still qualified and they're still quite capable. And you'd be surprised if you got one, in their mid-60s.
There's a couple of things about that. One is I'm not that smart. And two, it never occurred to me to do that. I mostly just hired, like, I'd see homeless people on the side of the road. Hey, you want a job?
Well,
hey, you're
God's
helping with
given
the
you
community.
Yeah, exactly. God's given you a path. You've got to follow it. So you hire the homeless. That's okay. It works. But then it doesn't. So but look into that.
Yeah, the interview process was, do you have a pulse? And are you able to get here on time every day? Yes. Okay, you're hired. Because I'll teach you everything else you need to know. But I'm retired now, so I don't even worry about it anymore. But there's a lot of times when I think, God, man, I wish I could afford to hire a personal assistant now, because retirement's busier than work was.
That's good. That's actually really good, Doc, because you hear there's a statistic out there, and I couldn't even tell you what it was because I'm not good at the maths, but that people that aren't busy during retirement, you literally die pretty freaking quick after that.
Yeah, and I do know when I first retired, I was painting, and I'm alone back here in my studio all day. And when I'm painting, my day usually starts before the sun comes up, and I paint till way deep in the night. And I take one break during the day. And I was talking to my dog a lot. And the dog doesn't give good feedback.
I was just going to ask if it talked back.
And I was starting to go a little stir crazy there. So there's no community of fine artists doing what we do in comic books, where we interact with each other like we're doing now. That just doesn't exist. So it was not lonely, because I don't get lonely, but it was certainly isolating, which is fine for the most part. I tend to enjoy peace and quiet and whatever, but it did get a little straining on the nerves.
Okay. Well, I think it's time to lighten it up a little bit, or get even more dark. I don't want
to be dark. I'm so sorry.
No.
I wore my Hawaiian shirt and everything.
What I'm saying is, you can go either way with this. This is your choice, because we are going to head into Conspiracy Corner.
I want to live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't even.
Thank you, Dr. Clown, for the conspiracy girl stinger. We love you, Dr. Clown.
That was awesome.
It is, and it's a full song. You can go check out Media Bear on YouTube. I forgot to put his link in the description tonight, but it's been in basically every other Creative Chaos. So I know, I gleaned really from watching Doc's Coffee Shop multiple times, and your conversation with Pops over there and everything, that you don't really trust the government. And when somebody doesn't trust the government, they're obviously a conspiracy theorist, right?
Right, of course.
So I just got to know how crazy you are. Just throw it at me. What's your craziest conspiracy theory?
My craziest conspiracy theory is
whatever.
I mean, first of all, I've seen with my own eyes the FEMA death camps that are guarded by Bigfoot and run by Elvis. No, I want to believe in Bigfoot desperately.
You watch David Paulides?
Mine is Thinker Thunker. I like Thinker Thunker. And also, what's his name? Bob Gimlin. I watch his. But also, I now believe in UFOs when I didn't before, because when I saw the footage from the Navy Hornets tracking that one, I recognized everything that they showed me as legit right up front. And I'm like, yeah, those guys aren't lying. That really happened. However, the conspiracy behind it isn't whether or not those things exist. It's how long has the government known they exist? Why are they releasing it when they release it, and whatever? That's kind of the conspiracy that niggles in the back of my brain.
Okay, and is this the one that what you're referring to? Is that one where you see they're tracking the UFO in their little, shooter box?
Yep. And that's what's interesting. Yes, the thing is performing in a way that nothing we have can perform, but our technology was tracking it, and if we can track it, we can shoot it. So that gives me a little bit of hope. Like, if they get nasty, we could pickle off a missile and maybe poke one of them in the eye. Maybe.
I guess maybe, but you'd think that their shielding is kind of like because we for 4th of July we watched Independence Day, so they actually have like really great shields, so we can't do shit to them.
Well, I mean, they don't have Norton antivirus though, Christy. we just upload a virus and get them bitches.
Yeah, I'm really surprised you were so quick on that, because when was last week we watched Independence Day?
I haven't seen it in a while. I did love that movie though. It was
terrible.
Great.
It's terrible.
It's a great movie.
It's
great.
So bad.
It's family friendly fun about the end of the world.
We're very judgmental in this household, so it's terrible.
Look, it's the modern day Close Encounters. Close Encounters. That's what it is to me. It's a modern day Close Encounters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really modern anymore, though, Bruce. We're getting old.
Yeah, this
is true.
This is in the 90s. Yeah,
I think 96.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Wow. Holy shit.
Oh. Have you guys seen that they're putting out Twisters?
Yeah.
Talking of 90s movies.
Jeez. How bankrupt is Hollywood? I mean, they can't do anything new or creative.
Nothing original is coming out of Hollywood for the last 10, 12 years. Easy.
The last good movie I saw was Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour. That was
I still
really
haven't watched
well
that, but I heard,
it's
I haven't
amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. I've heard a few good things about it, and I just haven't had the chance to watch it yet. But I love Gary Oldman. He's amazing.
And you would never know that was him playing Churchill if someone had not told you ahead of time.
Wow.
But it was again though, Hollywood done right, they can reach into history and do something, or they just rehash what was done in the 80s or the 90s and try to call themselves creative, and that it's just disgusting. I don't like it. Like,
I'm waiting for another Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures remake.
It's got to be coming soon. It's got to be coming.
I'm sure.
Either a sequel, a prequel, or a remake. That's the whole formula. Like they said on South Park, put a chick in it, make her gay. There you go. That's your new version.
Basically,
I still haven't seen the latest remake of Bill and Ted. What was that one called even? Where they had daughters, right?
Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't watch it.
Yes, they had. Yeah, they had. Well, I'm an old Bill and Ted fan. I'm a pop culture fan, so I get into those things. I used to be big into movies, big into comics, big into collectibles and toys and things, and hence where I came from, Nerds in a Bar to Three Beermen, and Christy and I hooked up, and we do this now. And I got to tell you, I turned off movies and Hollyweird probably just after COVID. I was like, fuck them all. I don't need it. I don't want it. I canceled my cable subscription the night of the election 2020 when they called Arizona at 9:30 at night for Biden. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Trump was up, and then they called Biden like an hour later, and they hadn't even closed the vote yet.
Don't get sideways about that. Everyone knows that Joe Biden's the most popular president in history. He got more votes than Barry Obama.
Yeah,
come on. Everybody
and they were all
knows
dead. They were all dying to vote for him.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't board up the windows of the counting rooms. Don't believe your eyes. See, this is the thing. And I made a big rant about this on not my last show, the one before. The media has covered for the left for so long that now they have to be like in the scene in Casablanca. I'm shocked to learn gambling's going on in here. They have to pretend that they didn't know that Biden was this doddering, infirm, dementia-ridden old maggot, and they're surprised. They're as surprised as anyone else. Well, here's the thing. If they would lie to you about something you can see with your own eyes, as frequently as we've seen that bumbling idiot out on the world stage embarrassing America, then what else were they lying about and covering up for? No, don't believe what remember CNN cut in and said they had to stop counting in Atlanta, Fulton County, because of a water pipe bust. And then they called, if you quoted that clip, they called that a conspiracy theory. When it was on tape, you can go back and play it. It's still on YouTube. They may have taken it down now, but it was up forever.
What about that woman, Ruby, who was on her Facebook page while she was recounting the ballots twice? Stupid ass. Hopefully she's still in jail. I know they did arrest her, but
remember this though, Bruce, that when they roll in all those big ass igloo coolers on wheels, that's just high-tech camera gear, because that's what you carry multi-thousands of dollars worth of equipment in for photography and filming. Igloo coolers.
Unbelievable, man.
Don't believe your own eyes. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you believe your own eyes? Give me that tinfoil hat.
Well, that's what's been interesting about watching, everybody turn on Biden since the debate. Like the only thing I'm seeing is that this has all been planned. Okay, now it's time to like flip the script a little bit. And I personally don't believe Biden is going to end up on the ballot. It's going to be somebody else. I don't know if you feel that way, Bruce or Doc.
I'm torn.
Biden will be there till the end unless they Clinton side him, which is a possibility. So if they do Clinton side him, here's the problem. They have to put Hamilton Suck-a-Dick Harris in place. They don't want her in. She's worse than Biden because she's got no fucking brain. At least he's got a part of one.
She doesn't even have the excuse of dementia. The prediction that I made was along those lines, that they would I'm scared to even say the words. I'm so used to YouTube censoring every word.
No, see, this is why I wear the hat, is so that YouTube doesn't censor us.
Oh, okay.
We're just being silly.
We're protected. Okay.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy is old Joe will go quietly and valiantly in his sleep, and the nation will be in mourning, and Kamala will ride the sympathy wave and the woman of color and the first woman wave, and just try to eke past this gigantic red wave that's coming. But I really think this one's going to be too big to rig. I think Trump's in there no matter what they do.
I don't know. I've just become so disillusioned. Like since COVID, it made me lose faith in all of humanity. COVID did. And then also the original Steel. Really, I'm like, wow, they really want us to know. It's so in our faces. So that makes me think, too big to rig. Okay, I guess, but they don't care if we see it.
Yeah,
they don't care if we see the
there's
rigging,
a lot of
so
truth.
they're just going to.
There's a lot of truth to that, and that's why I said I'm of two minds about it. All I can do at this point is in spite of my potty mouth, I am a Christian, so I pray. I pray that Trump gets in there and we can turn this thing around, because we ain't surviving another 4 years of this.
And that's what's going to happen.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. There is somebody who I haven't followed, but somebody sent me a link to, a guy by the name of Derek Johnson, who, not Q of any kind, he actually found documentation and he posted it on a Substack page, supposedly. And I haven't been there to look at it because I really don't give a shit, but it was brought to my attention, and I watched a quick clip video of him telling you about how the continuity of government is still going to continue, and that this whole thing is a show, regardless, including Q as part of the, playing an actor in this show, and that Trump's been in control all this time, and they had to flip the script, as you said, to make Joe Biden to be the worst president in history. And those envelopes that supposedly went out at Bush Sr.'s funeral was, "We've got it all. You're all screwed." Something to that effect. Whether you choose to believe it or not, that's up to you. But personally, I'm going to become a poll watcher in my district, so I don't fucking have to worry about that. I'm going to be there watching every vote get counted, because I'm in a slightly bluish district, purple district, and that pisses me the fuck off. My truck for my business is covered in red, white, and blue, a wrap, and it's got Trump stickers all over it. I had the Trump bust in my driveway. It was a mobile Trump store in my driveway of my business. I got 6 phone calls from customers who said they were never coming back to me because that was in my driveway. And I said, well, you know what? I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm tired of paying $4 a gallon of gas and an extra $3 a pound of beef because Biden's in office. I'm sorry. That's just the facts. Whether you like Trump or not, I don't care. But if you like living paying double for everything, well, then you go right ahead and you vote for this asshole one more time. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, we went to our favorite home cooking place for dinner tonight. The price was double what it was under Trump. Double. I was floored when I got the bill. I'm like, are you shitting me? Now, unfortunately, I had enough food stamps to cover it, but damn, man, I pawned my liver, and I was able to get us out of there. Don't eat, kids. Just get to the car.
That's what our friends used to use the sperm bank for. They needed a little extra cash. They'd go to the sperm bank and make a deposit and get some withdrawal.
Yeah, donate a kidney so you can afford a tank of gas. But I lived through this before. All right. I was there under Carter, and it was bad. It was bad. We were told that's the new normal, just like Obama said, what's it going to do? Wave a magic wand? Well, yeah, he waved one. Carter said this is the new normal, the new misery index. Remember the misery index? And Reagan came in and said, fuck that. Watch what we can do when the government gets out of the way. And what happened? We had a roaring economy. We won the Cold War. Hail Reagan, and happy days. I firmly believe that's where we're at right now.
Yep, and it is, because look at what came out of the Reagan era. If you remember correctly, the phrase was coined Reaganomics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and people have now turned the phrase into Bidenomics. They did it themselves, this own administration, and it went from being a positive to being a derogatory connotation.
Yeah.
So anything with Bidenomics on the end of it, you know what? Wait until Trump gets in office. He'll come up with a phrase all his own, and it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be bigly. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be the best anyone's ever seen. They make fun of him. I don't care. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care how he acts. He's not presidential, whatever. What he does in that office is all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing too. It's not a terrible thing to make fun of Trump.
No.
It doesn't.
Every
if you make fun
comedian.
Yes, go ahead.
Every comedian on late night shows, all these game shows, whatever, always made fun of the public, the president of the United States. Everybody. Go on YouTube and look at any Robin Williams skit that he's done on any of the presidents before.
Right.
He's done a ton of stuff. Now, he's also done some crazy good stuff. There was one where he's wearing a blue sleeve with white stars and red stripes on the shirt. And he did it for, was it Reagan's inauguration?
I don't remember what it was for. I remember that special though. He goes, look at me on the American flag.
And he did that whole skit, and it was amazing. I mean, and he comes from what I call Holly Weird. He's the undercurrent of that. But there are a lot of comedians comedians, actors that want to speak their mind and couldn't because they were afraid of being
Sure.
canceled. They were afraid to be canceled. Now cancel culture can go suck an egg. It ain't going to happen anymore. So
That's
yes,
right.
the pendulum.
The pendulum is swinging.
I'm
the other
sorry.
swinging.
I'm sorry. I run a business based on, satire, and cancel culture exists on both sides. So yeah, cancel
100%.
culture can suck a dick,
100%.
but I just gotta say, conservatives, you guys be very cancelly. You say the wrong thing.
There's this too. You could make fun of any president except Obama. If you made fun of Obama, you were automatically a racist. Let's don't forget that. And
well, I mean, that was his whole presidency, was making us all racist.
Yes.
Again,
he said it in the beginning. He was going to fundamentally change America. And guess what? The motherfucker made us a Muslim style country.
Yeah, he was ungood.
Well, my main thing when thinking about Obama is because me being a little bit younger than you and being Gen X, you big boomers over here, you boomer dudes, is race relations, especially me growing up in Southern California. It's kind of a great melting pot. Fucking, I had Black friends. We were all able to be kind of racist to one another and have a good laugh. And then that was that.
Yeah.
You know,
growing up in the 70s, early 70s, there was no racism. I didn't hear the N-word till I heard it from Hollywood. And I'm in the deep South. I'm in the deep South. Now, my father was an educator. He was the principal of the schools and he was a football coach and whatever. So he didn't tolerate that kind of crap. My mother ran the first integrated kindergarten in our state, and it was just no big deal here. It just wasn't. And then all of a sudden now it's like, everything is a ist or a phobe or whatever. And pay attention, lefties, as I say the following. That dog ain't gonna hunt no more. I'm sorry. You played that card too many times. The pendulum is swinging back. And I'm telling you, that's a big ass pendulum. You might want to move out of the way because it's coming back through.
Yeah.
Nope,
I agree.
All right. Well, thank you, Doc, for bringing it back down again.
Damn it, Bobby.
He's trying to stay positive, y'all.
I do the best I can with what I got. Where's my medicine?
I think you made a comment. I'm sorry. He made a comment about, not hearing it till Hollywood. But I think it's funny because I grew up more in the mid 70s into the 80s. I'm only a couple of years younger than you, Doc. I just had my 60th young birthday. Mm-hmm. So
I'm only 30. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. There you go. Hell, you're bolder than me, damn it. But I remember NWA coming out on the scenes, and all my friends were listening to NWA. And what did NWA stand for? And if you said it, nobody said anything about it.
Right.
It wasn't a big thing. You said it with an A. You didn't say it with a hard R like Biden does down south, and
yeah.
So
he's so creepy. So creepy.
Yeah.
He's just not a joke.
Hey, Batman, I just gotta say that Tim Hayes over on YouTube popped in to say what's up, and he goes, "Who is this Batman dude?" And then our good buddy George Washington X says, "He is a national treasure."
Thank you, George. God bless you, brother.
Batman, damn it.
All right, and on that note, let's get Doc branded. He needs to be Flip City branded. Because
I'm ready.
I think he's a man of our own heart over here, and I have quite a role for him. So
does he know what's about to happen? Does he really know what's about to happen?
I don't think he actually really knows what's about to happen.
I'm frightened.
Okay, good.
So Hey, I don't know Batman, because I've played this character. There's only 2 characters in this tonight. And hey, Cause, if you can just bring up the very first slide of what we're gonna do tonight. All right, so this is our Karen series.
Okay.
And this is Karen. We're not doing the very first in this, so this is why I have this slide. So there's Karen on the left,
Mm-hmm.
that turns into Karen on the right. And
Jigglypuff.
yeah, so basically she kind of turns into a superhero,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and she has a BFF. And I think that's on this next slide that's coming up. And you're going to play her BFF.
Oh God.
All right. So this is her BFF. And
This
that's
is
also
pussy country, brother.
so you're going to play Mangina. And I chose this particularly because I thought your voice was perfect for Mangina.
I'm very feminine.
And then, hey, I don't know, Batman, because I've played Karen so many times. I don't know if you want, do you want to, or do you want me to play?
Fuck it, I'll do it.
You'll do it?
Fuck yeah.
All right, you play Karen, but you need to be as feminine as possible.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, so I get to sit back and just laugh my ass off at you two being idiots.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So yeah, so Doc, you're playing Mangina. Bruce is Karen. This is you all, Bruce.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get my camera right. Hey again, guys. Here I am. I can't read it because my Zoom is in the way. Writing like my 3rd article this week. This week, I'm going to the is that me still?
Yep.
Oh, sorry. This week, I'm going to the cancer fundraiser walkathon march. I'm going with my bestie, Georges. Georges is like my best friend and ally. Z's a real progressive and like half the alphabet. Z's a feminist. Z's trans. And Z's also a lesbian. Z's so funny and such a nerd. Z's always says, Z wants to restore balance, the femforce, and bring peace to the gay Linksy. Z's the best. You know, I can talk to Z. I can talk to Zim about anything. Is this 92 see-through?
Oh, I'm just going to powder my nose.
2 minutes later.
Are these panties too tight?
Got to pound her hose. I mean, pound my hose. I mean, powder my. Oh,
So there we were at the cancer walkathon, waiting for the march to begin. So then I said, I don't even. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah, sure. Oh, my stars and garters. Don't look. They're the SKIN head, a Nazi, a white supremacist, a cracker.
He's up.
I told you not to look. That's it. I've had just about enough. Why should I put up with this scum? I'm going to give him a piece of my mind.
And then I saw it. My friend was just like me. A hero. A warrior. Z was.
Mangina. This is pussy country, baby. Hey, Fritz. Looks like you need some soy in that espresso. Whoopsie. Need a little climate change? How about a little sugar, you capitalist pig? And did I put out your tiki torch? Come on, Cav. Racist, misogynists, homophobes are everywhere. I bet he isn't even double vaxxed.
That was a fantastic mangina.
I've got to be stuck with this voice. I had a professor in college. Her name, and I will dox her. Her name was Dr. Laurie Lankin. I will never forget this moo wearing thing. She walked into one of the classes I was taking when I was in school for psych, and she goes, "Oh, hi, I'm Laurie. You can call me Dr. Lankin, or you can call me Laurie, but don't call me Miss. You will not be misogynist in my class."
Wow,
And I was
so
like,
she was the cowardly lion.
And I was like, I am so fucked. She put up signs around the room, stations, starting with strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. And she would make statements, and you had to go stand under whichever one. So she said, "We, as a profession, have failed to be culturally and diversity sensitive to the needs of our clientele." So I went and stood under strongly disagree. And she said, and I quote, "Oh, Mr. Blalock, why do you disagree?" I said, "Because I ain't failed at shit." And then I got told to go to the office.
Nice.
I went outside and smoked a stogie.
Yeah, sounds like the right thing to do.
You know me, I look like an out of work tennis instructor back in the day. Sorry. I can't repeat what I called her, but once she called me a name, I figured all bets were off.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Big
And that
fucking bearded moo wearing huffalump. Get the hell out of here.
and in what year was that?
It was in the 90s.
Okay.
Fortunately, I didn't get expelled. I didn't get in trouble. It was all good.
Very good. Well, that actually concludes our show for tonight. I just want to do one last check in, see if anybody else has popped in, and does not look like anybody else has, but I lost my chat. Here we go. Yeah. It's just George Washington telling Tim Hayes, "You are a national treasure," and saying Doc has a good voice for voiceover reads. Have you done voiceover in the past, by the way?
Done a lot of voice work over the years. I did commercials for the local FM radio station way back in the day. I've lost a lot of my range in my voices because, I smoke a lot. But yeah, I still do a lot of voice work. As a matter of fact, we're doing if we hit $4,000 on the campaign, we're going to be doing an audio book, and I'll be doing the narration as Jake Bishop in his whiskey voice.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Love it. If you need any voice work, give me a holler. I'd love to help out.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it is. My favorite movie of all time is Casablanca. And the original Mac Daddy was Richard Blaine, who was, of course, Humphrey Bogart's character. And I always loved that intonation, that I stick my neck out for nobody, that whole attitude of his back then. So I love that stuff. Love it.
That's great. Yeah. I had a lot of fun perusing your art. So it was a lot of fun. I didn't know about your other artwork, so I was very surprised. Two totally different ventures. I mean, you go down two totally different paths. I mean, just in general, your artwork on the comic book is very specific, and then your art is just popping with color and theme. It's really interesting to see that. So you've got that Two-Face image going on in my head.
That's what my ex-girlfriend called me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, my sidekick just called you Two-Face.
They are two very different things. You know, when I'm painting, there's no message in it. It's just, this is a beautiful scene I saw, and I want to paint it. And I've had collectors of the, oh, this painting really speaks to me. And in my head, I'm going, yeah, I don't care what it says to you, as long as you stroke a check, you know?
Yeah.
Just sign right there for me, please.
Yeah.
And if you add that extra zero, I'll be even happier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, your autograph means more than mine. Just make sure it's on the bottom of that check.
Yes.
That's right.
Hey, I just wanted to shout out John Rocker that popped in here near the end saying good evening all, and then everybody else is basically saying good night. So Levi and George Washington X, I don't know if the good stuffs are still around. If you are, what is up? Thank you for popping in and saying hello tonight. And yeah, that does it for Creative Chaos on 7-Eleven. I forgot it was free Slurpee day. I might be able to go down to 7-Eleven to get a free Slurpee still.
Hey, I might be able to too. No, I think it was only till 6 o'clock Eastern time. So you got avocado time. Hurry up.
It's 7:30 now.
I don't try Doc. It. You never know.
Damn it, Doc, ruining my good time again.
Wowsy, woo woo.
All right, and then go ahead.
I was just going to say the best bit out of the magazine Flip City issue that you sent me was the Oak Island parody. I could not quit laughing at that, especially when they pulled out the dude that's the alien astronauts.
Oh my God. You know, in fact, if you're interested, we do a FAFO stream every once in a while where we bring on past guests to do voices. Would you like to come back and do Oak Island with us?
Oh, absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would.
Okay. I don't know if you get to play Giorgio, because Scott does a great Giorgio.
I wish that I've actually been practicing a Mike Rowe voice. Excuse me, I just boogered that up. A Mike Rowe voice. And I'm almost there, you know, another week or two, and I'll have a Mike Rowe for you.
Okay, that sounds fantastic, actually. The next one that I know for sure we're going to do will be for Christmas time, but I do need to talk to my fabulous producer about maybe doing a FAFO stream every couple of months. That is not part of Creative Chaos, but I haven't even brought that up yet to him. So we'll see.
Just now.
I just did.
You just did now.
Because I had such a fun time when we did that. Gosh, I think it was 3 Creative Chaoses ago. We had a nice panel on, and it got a little spicy.
Literally, I heard him go, "Oh fuck."
Me too. It's why I had to do it publicly.
Get back out now, buddy.
Right. Yeah, so okay, you are on my list of invitees for the next time we have a FAFO stream, so we can do some live reads. And beyond that, I think you're gonna like a lot of our other parodies that we do. And I love hearing the different things people say are their favorite things in each magazine, because it truly is a variety magazine.
Yes, it is. And it does, you know, I know you get this all the time. But God, I loved Mad Magazine. Cracked was okay. This is that turned up to 11. And I love it. I love it. I was
You got to have me do a promo with that.
I do that. Yeah. That is my face every time. I think I did it with Mike Barron when he said nice things. I go, because it feels good. We worked really hard at it.
Yeah, when someone enjoys your stuff and you get some accolades, nothing wrong with that dopamine hit. You know, you put a lot of heart and soul into it. You like a little, you know, a little of this.
Yes, or even just a pat on the head. I'll take that too.
And just don't pat it hard. I get blisters. I'm sensitive.
Okay, so for people to pat you on the head, where do you want them doing that?
Well, preferably behind closed doors. I'm Doc Blalock. You can find me on YouTube at Doc Blalock. I'm the only Doc Blalock on YouTube. You can go over to Fund My Comic and type in a damn dirty thing, and you'll find my campaign, which is it's a storefront, so it'll stay open for a little while. And we're going to do our first print run here very shortly. Everything's finished; it's ready to go. And you can follow me on the Twixter at I'm Doc Blalock 8404. Just remember, 1984 was a great year for movies, and April of '84 was a really good month. That's not why I chose those numbers, but
0484.
8404.
8404. What?
8404.
Okay.
Year
I'm
before the
wondering-
month. Year before the month. 8404. Year before the month.
Yeah, 8404 is actually was my my designation in the Navy was hospital corpsman, but then I was a Fleet Marine corpsman, so that's 8404. So that's why I'm
Oh,
Doc.
very cool.
Okay, awesome. And we've talked about Twitter multiple times, and I never tell people where to find me on Twitter. It's at Kitty, Kitty, Flip City. So hang out with me on Twitter. That's where, that's pretty much my social media place. Like, Facebook gives me way too much anxiety.
I was, it was the opposite for me. It was in the fine art community, build a big Facebook following, have a marketplace page over there, do all that. And when I came over to the comic book world, they said, you got to be on Twitter to get any kind of success. I was like, yeah, but that's a shithole. I don't want to be on Twitter. But, I've learned to bifurcate my mind. I go over to Twitter and I'm the Doc that makes comic books. And when I go over to Facebook, I'm just Doc, I'm just me.
I've learned a new word tonight, bifurcate. Bifurcate? Okay. All right, cool. And I just have to say really quick, Ben Sullivan checked in over on YouTube saying, damn, it's the end of the show, and saying hello to me and you, Batman, and Doc as well. And I just have to say, Ben, because I'm sure you're still listening, Doc just gave us giant props on Ancient Avians and Jerks of Joke Island. And Doc, just to let you know, Ben Sullivan is the artist on all of our parodies.
Fantastic artwork, my man. Keep it up. That is the kind of shit that just rocks. I love it. And you nailed the faces on those guys. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I can't get past that. We found a nail.
Yes. Dude, the relationship between Ben and Scott, because Scott writes the parodies, he sends them over to Ben, but Ben just knocks it out of the park. Scott and his relationship isn't I want you to draw this, and this, and this. He lets him have it, and Ben just delivers over and over. And I encourage you to go look for Easter eggs, because that's something great about Ben.
I fully intend to, and I want to get physical copies, and I shall.
Yay! That's why I bring people on, is because I just want you to buy the magazine. I pretend to care about what you're doing.
We're only here to shill people. Ka-ching.
Batman. I love embarrassing Batman. Batman, like, why the fuck am I hurt? It's like,
We had fun. This was a fun show. I had a good time. Doc's an interesting character, and I had a good time chatting.
And I had a good time too. I appreciate it. I was terrified.
No, you weren't.
Horrified.
You're terrified of a guy who looks like Yosemite Sam? Really?
You can tell that I'm bashful. I'm shy. I'm camera shy. I have stage fright.
No, I could not tell at all. And also check out Doc's Coffee Shop. And you said that's every Wednesday morning, correct?
Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Because that's how late he sleeps.
No.
Do you have
we get up way before the sun around here. But that's about the time that I become fully conscious.
Okay.
It takes that much coffee. What were you going to ask me, Batman?
Do you have like a linked tree or some sort of main website for them to find all of your different platforms?
I'm not that sophisticated. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Okay. Like we have 3beerman.tv and it gives a listing of all the different platforms. I'm sure you could get some insight to that from somebody as, tech savvy as Cosmic, I'm sure, because we have it set up that way and it
Yeah,
works really nicely.
I need to get a link tree, but there is a part of me, and I'm sorry, Christy, I'm dragging things out. Do you remember the old
You're
Andy
fine.
Griffith show where the street peddler, who was the guy who was the original voice of Winnie the Pooh, was on there? And I don't want to be pushy. I don't like to be pushy. And everyone was buying from him instead of the big department store. And the department store guy was mad at Andy for letting him do that.
I don't
That's
remember
me.
that episode.
I don't want to be pushy. If you like my product, buy it. If you don't, it's okay. If you want to subscribe to my channel, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. I just don't want to be pushy.
It's funny because I've seen some not the greatest comics out there make a lot of money because they're actually pretty freaking pushy.
Hmm.
I think that's kind of the game.
And I'm not, look, I'll have people come on my show and I will shill their product hard. And then I come on shows like this, people say, tell us about your project. Well, there's this guy and he does some stuff and, I think you'll like it. I have when I was doing fine art showings, a gallery opening, the very first one that ever spotlighted me, I paid somebody to be me, to go there and be me, because I hate talking about the money with people.
But you need it. We all need it.
I do. And I learned to go to those openings and stand around and pretend that everything those pretentious people are saying is important and profound. And that's very deep. I've never thought of that. Just stroke a fucking check, will you? It's a painting.
Have you ever had anybody like really take one of your art pieces and just dissect it so incredibly detailed, like every piece of that painting meant something to them and they just had to have it?
Yes, I have. My biggest collector, he passed away last year. He
Oh,
has or had the largest private art collection east of the Mississippi. And
Wow.
he bought 7 pieces from me over the years. And I'm very proud to hang in his gallery. It's still there. They set it up as a nonprofit trust. They're going to do something with it. I don't know what. But I had just simply painted this scene that was here locally. There was a path through the trees, and it had a small tree on this side and a large tree on that, and it was pretty. So I painted it, and he goes, this just really speaks to me, the division between those 2 trees. They could never be together again, like me and his wife. His wife passed away before him, and that path is what separates us, but it converges in the distance. So one day, I'm going, if you see all that in there, brother, that's all you. God bless you. But thank you for your patronage. I truly appreciate it.
it's just 2 trees and a path.
Yeah. I paint scenes because they're pretty. That's it. It goes
Yeah.
no deeper than that.
I got to tell you, you've inspired me. This has been, and don't worry about time because, Cosmic may have to go, but we can carry on a little bit, I'm sure, if he needs to cut and run, even if we go off air. But after my auto accident, I've gotten to the point where I'm well enough to start traveling. I started traveling and I went to Peru for a month. I was in Florida for a month. I went up to Ithaca for a weekend for my son's graduation. Unfortunately, I had to go from nice things to a funeral up in Washington, but I got to camp out on some really cool property in Idaho above Priest River and then flip over to just above Diamond River on a friend's property. And we actually did a show from there, but we did his eulogy and a celebration of life. And then we sent him off with tannerite. Literally, do you know what tannerite is? So his mom took 3 shots at a bucket full of his ashes, filled with 12 pounds of tannerite, and we spread his ashes all over his property, and it was glorious. And we have it on film. You can check it out on 3beerman.tv. You'll look for it under Dave's memorial, and things like that are like really interesting. And I'm trying to live my best me and live my best life.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're trying to do the same with your comics and your art. And I love that you're doing both. That just really speaks to me. And
Yeah.
I've been traveling around this United States, and I can't even begin to tell you. I want to express it in a way that I think other people would appreciate it, like within your art. You see a scene or you see something out there in the world, and you have to draw and paint it.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to start doing. But I want to start doing the mountain ranges. I went to Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
We traveled back from Florida to New York, taking the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we did like 40 miles in 8 hours because we stopped everywhere to
Yeah.
see
It's
the
beautiful.
beauty of it. It's
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah, the
And
Blue Ridge Parkway is amazing, especially in autumn. As you know, autumn is just breathtaking. Yeah, I'll say this. If I take every dime I've made in comics, whether it was commission work, my book, first book, second book, whatever, all of that money together is about half what I make on a painting. And I can do a painting in a day. Comic books take months. And I was asked, by the wife, honey, you've made a lot more money with your paintings. I've got the storytelling bug. I like telling my stories, and my paintings don't tell stories. They're just images. And I love painting, and it will always be a passion, but I love telling these stories. I like writing. I like drawing. I like setting the mood. I like the emotion on a face, love all that stuff.
Yep.
So that's the bug, and I'm here till they put me in the grave, I guess.
do
Yeah,
what you love doing.
and
Do
I
what you
did
love.
drop one more time in the chat. I dropped to your fine art paintings for anybody that wants to patronize that in order to fund your books. I'm sure that would be helpful, right?
Absolutely, it would. Never thought of that. Maybe I could start putting paintings on my GoFundMe's. The comic book is funding for $2,000, but you can get this painting for $7,000.
Hey, don't sell yourself short. Justin Beaumont.
Yep, I know Justin.
Okay, so Justin sells his panels,
Mhm.
and I've got one of his panels. I love the concept, and
Mhm.
I was always big into comic art, but I never started collecting it. I
Mhm.
just read the comics.
Mhm.
And I have a friend of mine from the comic world. That's all he ever did was collect the panels and the artwork. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got such a collection that he's got signatures from artists, and he just got Michael Uslan, who is the producer of all things Batman, video, digitally, visually. He bought the rights from Warner Brothers back in the 70s, mid 70s, when he
Right.
could get it for a song and a dance, and he borrowed from anybody and everybody he could, and bought the rights to Batman, and now he is the sole, Batman aficionado next to
Right.
me.
Right.
And I actually got to interview him on my old show, and it was amazing. I read both his books. Well, I audio filed both his books.
Mhm.
I am dyslexic as well as ADHD, so having a book in front of me, I'll try and read a book, and I'll read the same page 10 times, and it's confusing. So I'll hear an
Yeah, that's
audio book, and
That's
I
one
will
of the
remember that.
reasons that we want to get to that $4,000 mark to do the audiobook.
Yeah.
Fanta, you guys might know Fanta. She's a super fan in the chats. She's legally blind, and I was thinking about her. Thought about Jason Bascom. He's legally blind, but he's still an artist, and he's great. But there were other people that came out when I said we might do an audiobook that said the same thing you said. I have dyslexia, and I would love to read this book. And by read, they mean audiobook, because they can't read it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I would love to do it. I mean, there's nothing I want to do more.
If you can get it on Amazon and Audibles, you're set, bro.
Yeah, and we can. We have the mechanism to do that. We just got to get to the funding goal to produce the thing.
You heard him, folks.
All right.
Yeah, we've got all
Get
the
out
voice
there
talent
and sign
lined
up, guys.
We've got some great voice actors lined up to do all the parts. and there is a sample. It's a terrible sample because it was just me on my headset reading live an excerpt from the book, but it's on the campaign page at the very bottom. There's an audiobook sample down there that you can hear to get a sense of what's in the book, the
Cool.
novella, because there's a novella along with the comic book. So
Nice. I look forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so for realsies, we're gonna cut the stream, but we can still hang out backstage, Doc.
yeah, we got to go, man. I've had enough of you people.
Yeah, yeah, right. So to the chat that's still out there, please like, share, subscribe to whatever platform you're on, subscribe to Flip City. It really helps us with the algorithm because we obviously really, really care about that. But no, seriously, I believe Creative Chaos is a pretty great show. We try to bring you entertainment along with a new guest every single week that is in the indie space, creating the culture that we all wish to see. So I thank you, Doc, for creating some culture that is not pieces of crap or complaining about it, because you don't do that on your show either. You
That's
don't really
right.
complain about it. You like
No.
highlight other artists, and you're doing your own thing as well.
That's right. A damn dirty thing set in a time when men were men and women weren't.
That's actually a great tagline.
And
get the
soy
read
didn't
from that.
exist.
That's right.
And soy
That's right.
didn't exist.
Thanks for having me out, guys. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, and I hope to have you back on our FAFO stream because, like,
And I got to
Batman
have you
said,
on my
you're
show,
good-
Christy.
Yeah, I know.
Got to have you on my show.
Thank you for the invite.
You are
Finally.
invited. You are invited. You've been invited. Did Pops not tell you?
No, I actually DM'd Pop saying, "Hey, is there any way I can get on Doc's stream?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll talk to him." And I think that was like 7 months ago or something.
No, you are. The door is wide open.
I don't think Pops likes me so much.
No, Pops loves you. He speaks very highly of you. No, normally he's organized and he writes shit down. Like he does all the booking for me. I'll say I'd like to have this person on and he'll arrange it and whatever. Occasionally people reach out to me directly and I tell them, yeah, you can come on my show, but I promise I'll forget. So you better contact Pops.
Yeah. And you know what? I think I did the same exact thing that you do, is like, oh, I don't want to bother anybody. I think we all struggle with that, except for Batman. I don't think Batman struggles with that.
I don't want to be pushy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the door's always open, Christy. Anytime that's vacant, that I don't have a booking, you are more than welcome to come on.
Well, fantastic. Well, good. I'm glad that I get to come hang out on in your coffee shop where it's 100% soy free.
That's right.
Batman, I know you do Three Beer Men. I think we've talked about it 5 times tonight. So go check out Three Beer Men on Sunday nights. They have a fun show. Batman, the producer, Cosmic Grandpa, that you actually get to see on screen. And they have a really fun show. So go check them out. And again, like, share, subscribe. And of course, go subscribe to Flip City Magazine, because I think Doc even thinks this is the funniest thing on the planet. Probably even better than Mad and Cracked ever was, like Mike Barron says as well.
It's Mad Magazine turned up to 11.
Yes.
Much better.
Oh, I'm actually using that as a quote.
Absolutely quote me.
All right. And then you guys check back next week. Same time, same place, Creative Chaos, 6 p.m. My guest will be AC Pritchard. He has tattoos. So I think he's a pretty cool dude because he has tattoos. I met him last week. So, come check us out next week with AC Pritchard. And good night, everybody. Stick around, Doc. We'll talk backstage.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. God bless.